Would you believe that I have filmed this video twice already? This is the third time, and I have come to realise that it's because my camera that I'm using on my phone, the app, only will film for a certain amount of time, and it doesn't just cut off then and save what you've done, it actually deletes the whole thing. So I'm going to have to do it in bits, so sorry about that. Hello everyone, and welcome to your destination, Jess. Today I'm going to be filming the Throwback Tag, and I don't know if that's actually like a proper tag on YouTube, but I came across it on the internet in my searches, so I thought I'd do it because it sounded fun. So question number 1 is, what year were you born in? That's easy, 1997. That was in my 50 facts about me video right at the start. Number 2, do you have any pictures of yourself from when you were a kid? Yes, I do, and I will insert them digitally because I don't have hard copies to hold up and show you. And the first one is of myself and my father and my dog, and she was a Chihuahua cross mini foxy named Tilly, and we were the best of friends, but sadly she has passed away. So here it is. And the next photo is of me in my preschool year, and this was school photo day, and wasn't I just adorable? And finally, the third photo I'm going to show you is just a random one of me rocking an awesome multicolored jersey with a little scrunched up face, either from the sun or because maybe that's just how I smiled. Question number 3, what TV shows did I grow up watching? Now, there is far too many that I absolutely love to go into detail, so all I'm going to do is just list them, and you just have to realise how amazing these shows are compared to now when they're all 3D and just ruined. Like seriously, the 2D just sketch cartoons were just the best, and these are, to name a few, George Shrinks, Cat Dog, Fairly Odd Parents, oh, what else was there? SpongeBob, obviously. Everybody loves SpongeBob. I just have to say this though, I don't love SpongeBob just because it's like, oh my god, I love SpongeBob, I'm a little kid, like, oh my god, you know how it's like the cool thing, or it was, I don't really know if it still is, but I just like it because it like reminded me of my childhood days. Kim Possible, did I say that? I'm not sure. Kim Possible we actually love so much that we named our cousin after it, kind of. There's 4 of us, my brother and I, and then my 2 cousins, and we each have like a 2-letter nickname, and mine is JG, my brother's is JB, my other cousin's is CJ, and this cousin, who I'm talking about, Keely, is KP, Keely Possible, instead of Kim Possible, and we even made up a theme song for her, and I don't know why, but it was cool at the time, and it went something like this. Keely Possible, bite her, eat her, if you want to beat her, squeeze her, hug her, if you want to bug her, there you go. And Cyber Chase was an awesome show with those kids that like jumped through into the cyberspace world and fought off that guy called Hacker and his little like bird minion thing. That was just an awesome show. And also Bear in the Big Blue House. I'm not actually sure if I loved that show, but I just remember it standing out as being something that I watched in my childhood. What did you want to be when you grew up, and do you still want to be that? The answer is a vet, and yes, but I can't see myself actually becoming one. I could get into the degree, but it's just too long, and I kind of think I would be too sad all the time in the job seeing all the hurt animals, even though I could help them, and then even more so sad when I actually couldn't help them. So probably not the best thing for me to do. Show a video of yourself when you were younger. I can't actually show you the video because I don't have it anymore, and I have no idea who does have it or if anyone has it. But it was this movie that we decided to make when I was a kid of myself, my dad, my brother, and the family friends of ours at the time. And it was basically this corpse bride thing. Morbid. I know, we were morbid children. And I was like the corpse bride minion sort of person, and I just remember distinctly saying one line that was not meant to be said, but you could hear me say it because I was like whispering it to the lead girl to say. And it was me going, say onward my minions. Acting is not my forte. What were your favourite toys to play with as a kid? Now, I was not your standard girly girl child. I hated dolls, I hated Barbies, I hated Bratz, I hated all those Furby, whatever nonsense things they were. They just creeped me out really. So I used to play with Hot Wheels cars and make little garages for them out of bark in our backyard. I used to play in the paddock. I used to play with this thing that my brother had. It was like a track, like a giant Hot Wheels track, like figure eights and stuff, and you would electrically race like these cars around them, and it was just the coolest fun ever. I'm not actually a car person now, but it was fun to play with. And I also used to make cubby houses under the tables and like drag the dog in with me and like have food and water and like blankets and stuff in there. And I would have and I would get our laundry tub basket thing and put it on this trolley thing that we had for it to wheel it around, and put blankets and pillows in there, and then put the dog in there and just wheel the dog around, and that was my fun. My brother and I also had this little mini tricycle when we were very, very young, and he would ride it around with me attached in this like tub at the back, and I would just get like pulled around, so I think I got the better end of that deal. Also, beanie kids were a massive thing for my brother and I. We used to absolutely play with them all the time, and we had so many. We had tubs and tubs, like proper containers full of these beanie kids, and big ones and little ones, and we used to just like make them talk to each other and have barbecues and stuff. It was really fun, and I think we still have them. We could get a lot of money for them, but we cut the tags off their ears, so they're probably not really worth that much anymore. And another thing we used to play is a cyber chase game, which was like that show I was telling you about, and we used to have this blackboard on like an A-frame thing, and we used to pretend to like jump through the blackboard and use like my brother's watch as like the chip that they have on the show, I don't really remember, and pretend we went into cyberspace and did cyber chasey things. What's the most embarrassing thing you can remember doing as a child? Now this is by far not the most embarrassing thing I've done. I have done plenty more embarrassing things, but I thought I would just tell you this one because it's a little bit less up there with me being too weird to handle. But actually, you know what? This is kind of strange, and I don't know what my brain was thinking. Anyway, we're playing tag, and this girl and myself were not up, so we were sort of hiding, but I thought I was by myself hiding, and I just got this sudden urge to like sort of dance, not dance, but just like wiggle my bum and just go like this. And it looked obviously very strange because I just stopped in my path and did that, and then the girl saw me and she's like, "Why did you just wag your bum, Jess?" And I like swore on my life that I didn't do it and that she was seeing things, and I had to pretend like I didn't and she was imagining it. Whoops. 3 songs I love to listen to as a child. There is literally too many. I can't remember their names, but like sometimes one will come on and I'll remember it, and it's just like the best feeling ever. But 2 that I remember standing out as just songs that I played and played and played and abused the crap out of by like singing and listening to them all the time, and that is From Paris to Berlin, don't know who sung it, can't remember, and Evermore, See the Light Surrounding You, or Light Surrounding You, or something like that. And seriously, I just absolutely loved those songs, and I still do. Like, I think they're great. And for a third, I'm just gonna say Delta Goodrem songs, her old songs. They were just the best. Like Together We Are One. Can't remember any off the top of my head, but I just used to love her as well. What was something funny that you dressed up for Halloween? Now, my mum would not let us celebrate Halloween because we're in Australia, and she used to say that no, it's not America here, so we don't celebrate that. Which I think is actually a British thing, but okay, Mum, it's okay. So, what I did dress up for one time was for a primary school day that we had. It was P Day. So I dressed up as a pig, and I had a little cardboard snout that was like elasticized around my head, ears on a headband, and little wristbands with cardboard trotters cut out that went over my hands and my feet. And I just wore pink, and I had a tail too, actually, I believe, and it was the coolest costume ever until at the last minute they decided to say, no, we're not having P-Day, we're having Pajama Day. Pajama Day. So my pig costume got put to waste. Thanks, primary school. Tell a funny story of something you remember happening as a kid. Now, I have a funny one, and I'm not going to say it. I said it in the last 2 videos, well, the last 2 attempts of filming this video, but I realised that it's too long to say again. So I picked another one, and anyway, my brother would have killed me for saying that one. So this one is one time, my brother and I, when we were little, we used to have satins or blankets, but they were satin material, just like, you know, sort of that size, and we would take them to bed with us and whatever, as kids do with their blankets. And mine went missing one night right before bed, and of course everyone blamed Jack, my brother, because he was hiding my stuff all the time. We're like, Jack, where did you put it? And he swore on his life, no, I didn't take it this time. I didn't hide it. It wasn't me. I promise. And Jack wouldn't have lied to any of us like that. So we believed him, and we searched and searched and searched the house for it. Eventually, we found my satin behind the door of Jack's bedroom. So when you have the door pushed back against the wall and there's a little gap between the door and the wall, it was wedged in there. Obviously, Jack put it there. And the funny part is, he did put it there, but he wasn't lying to us, because he had put it there that morning and actually completely forgotten that he'd hidden our satin, and he obviously got in trouble, but he just forgot, like, he wasn't lying to us. But yeah, that was pretty funny at the time. Are there any special things that you have kept from your childhood? Yes, and it's very strange, and that is all my baby teeth. All the teeth that I have lost, I have kept in this little round tin, and I guess my mum started that for me, but I don't know, that's kind of weird, and I am obviously not going to show you my teeth because that's a bit unnatural, right? Something weird that I used to do as a child. Okay, well, most people suck their thumbs, right? They suck this one or that one, I don't know. But for me, being the different child that I was, I sucked my 2 fingers instead, and I would just suck them all the time. When I slept, I could not sleep if I was not sucking my fingers, and eventually it got up to the time when I was in grade 4, which is 9 years old, I think, and it had started to push my teeth out a little bit because it's like obviously pushing on them, and so I had to get a plate, which is like a retainer but braces, not just the retainer, it's like actual, it's just like a retainer version of braces, I guess. Anyway, it also had these jaggedy things like that in the roof of my mouth, so when I went to suck my fingers it clamped down on them and hurt kind of, so it stopped me doing that. So yeah, that was a bit weird, I guess. What is the scariest thing that I can remember happening to me when I was younger? Now, this didn't directly happen to me, the hurt, but the scarring did in my brain, and that was my dog that I was talking about earlier, Tilly. She got under our fence once when my nan and pop came to visit, and there were 2 staffies next door, and the staffies obviously were not happy about her being in their yard, so they attacked her and mauled her to death. Well, she was still alive, and I think that was half the horrible part of it, because obviously I had to watch it, like I didn't know what to do, you're just sort of in shock. Anyway, we had to take her to the vet afterwards with basically only her brain intact, I guess, and they wrapped a big bandage around all of her, so she was sort of kept together, and we got to pat her, but she was just out to it. She was in that much shock that she was just standing there with dazed, and she obviously had to get put down. So that sort of completely scarred me against staffies and any dogs like that. I can't pat them, don't like to look at them, I can't like them no matter how friendly they seem, because these dogs seemed friendly to pat over the fence. They seemed friendly to our dogs over the fence, but as soon as they got in the yard, they weren't so. And finally, how is the world different now from when I was a child? My answer is going to be 100% cliche, and that is the fact that today is just majorly more technologically based, and sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's not a good thing, because my childhood without phones and stuff to play on like kids have now was absolutely awesome. We played in the paddock, we adventured, we actually did stuff that sort of stimulated our brains and interacted with everyone. And now I see kids getting like iPads for Christmas at 5 years old or even 10 years old, and it's just ridiculous, because where are they going to go from there? Like, from that present to what? They're going to expect everything, and you can't just go and like buy them a house or something. So it just gets a bit too much, and even primary school without so much technology was just so much better and easier, I guess, because you just had your book or you had stuff written on the board, and it wasn't like, oh well, it's your responsibility now to go get this PowerPoint that I'm not even going to teach you. Because that's really what's happened. People don't teach anymore, they just give you a PowerPoint and then expect you to do it yourself, and it's not actually teaching, and they're getting let off for it. So I'm I'm glad that I have the opportunity to use technology now as it's advanced, but I'm also glad that I had the chance to have a life without it for a bit. So there you go, there is the throwback tag regarding my life. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave any suggestions in the comments of future videos, or maybe if you liked the same stuff as me as a kid, or if you didn't like the same stuff as me as a kid, or how your childhood was different. And please, please, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!